The Shabbos before Pesach is known as Shabbos HaGadol. The reason it's called Shabbos HaGadol is because of a great miracle that happened to the Jewish people. It says that they took the god of the Egyptians, the sheep, they tied it to their beds, and they prepared to slaughter it, and they slaughtered it. And actually the Egyptians did absolutely nothing to stop them. This was a great miracle, and because of the great miracle that took place, that's why it's called Shabbos HaGadol. Now I ask you, why would it be called Shabbos HaGadol? Perhaps it should be called Shabbos HaNes. Perhaps it should be called Shabbos of the sheep. Well, a lot of different names that could be mentioned, but why specifically Shabbos HaGadol? Another question, also a good one to be asked, is what's the specific reason why they tied it to their bed? Of all places, for goodness sakes, if I had a sheep, maybe I'd keep it in my garage, maybe the backyard where it can graze a little bit, but to their bed, why would they do that? An additional question is that actually we know that the Egyptians had many different gods. One of the gods of the Egyptians was the cat. Another one they worshipped was the Nile. Another one they worshipped was the sun. Why specifically was it mentioned that Shabbos HaGadol is because they took the god of the Egyptians, the sheep, and they slaughtered that? They really could have slaughtered cats. I know certain people wouldn't mind. So the answer to all these questions, I believe, has to do with the nature of worship. We are, or we become, what we worship. If our vision of God is something kind and merciful, that's in fact what we become. If our vision of God is the fierce wolf god of the forest, well, that's what we're going to try to become. The Egyptians gave the Jewish people sheep to worship because, in fact, what they were telling the Jews was that this is what they should worship. You guys, you're a bunch of slaves, we don't want you rebelling, you should worship the sheep. The sheep is what you should worship. And as a way of showing we are not going to take it anymore, we're no longer going to be sheep, what the Bnei Yisrael did, what the Jewish people did, was they slaughtered the sheep. They slaughtered it, they spread the blood on the doorpost as if to say, we are not going to worship the sheep anymore. We are not just simply going to follow along. As a way of showing passivity, perhaps, this is the reason why they specifically tied it to their bedposts. As a way of saying that we are sheep tied to a bed, that we have been sleeping until now, but this is no longer. We are now going to go forward, we're going to experience the exodus from Egypt. This way, this understanding of Exodus, this understanding of redemption as a way of getting rid of the sheep tied to the bedpost, as a way of getting rid of the sheep tied to passivity, is a way in which we can truly experience freedom. Thank you.